Another crazy element is taking something so different, and then once it comes together to you, it's a little bit crazy, but it does make sense. It easily makes sense. Thank gosh, it easily makes sense, okay? So, what I want to do is the art of putting it, right, in a title, the title of this video. Yeah, because that's a big surprise, right? So, did careful research, and somehow it was really easy, and that was probably another scary thing, okay? So let's talk about some of the things that are pretty scary in this picture, okay? For one, we're going to start with the Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance, okay? Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance is absurd because they have a witch. And when they have a witch, they like this whole thin and thick thing, which is a common thing that you're going to have because Mario 64, okay? And now, remember, she says the catchphrase. When she says the catchphrase. She says, silver, bad, but silver, that kind of thing, right? So, here we go. Wanderer's leg to the left, okay? So let me count it for you, okay? Of course, it's going to be like a 1, 2, 3 uni. So where would you start? You'd start on the braces of the leg, right? 1, 2, 3. Then you get down. And you got to get to this. It's going to have a 1, 2 holes, 2 holes. And if you want to look at it, right, as a mouth, you get kind of like a tail leg idea, all right? So look at that. That's just a pretty cool, crazy thing to look at, right? So there you go. Now, you want to think about chicken legs, Grand Theft Auto 5. Be my guest. Be my guest. Go ahead, right? Now, you ready for the creepy one? The creepy one's still going to be on the braces. The braces is going to start to reveal some really creepy things. First of all, we'll start with the claw, okay? So his legs being clawed, right? Being scratched, being clawed, right? Okay. Which makes sense due to the things I've been showing you, like Golduck, and I've been showing you some crazy things, right? Legs, claw legs, right? Okay. All right. Go to his talons, the thing that you don't think you really want to look at, the belt and the talons, because sometimes it's, it's whatever, right? Look at the talons. This is where it gets really creepy because it adds up with our claw down here, because our claw just has to be a 1, 2, 3. And it's really messed up because it still has grower legs on it too. So it's a pretty evil thing. It's connected, which makes it evil, which makes sense. Connection is a pretty crazy looking thing. There's a whole entire idea behind it, Like Shadow of Colossus has some crazy ideas with connection. So that's the whole thing by it. Now, if you get curious, this is just the first talon on the belt to the left, unless you want to count the other thing that's a talon that could be by his hand, but I'm looking at, which one I'm looking at, right? Okay. And if you're confused for some reason, just think of X's shoe. Remember the top spikes of her, just think of that stuff, right? That'll be a pretty simple thing to go by, right? Yes, you have a 4, which is kind of crazy. You have a little 4 idea going down below. On the other side, H4, see, 4H, right? That's pretty crazy. 4H, 304, all kinds of crazy ideas you could have, right? Mary, 34, 3H, 4H, Mary. Yeah, a whole entire talon to Mary. Because, how you going to spell, right? You can spell Mary, right? Okay, so this is a pretty crazy picture, but if you keep following along, I promise you it'll be insane. I want to relook at that Goosebumps rabbit too, because if you look to the left of H, because H is the third, okay, because it has a 4, 3, 4, right? C, 3, 4. So go to the left, okay? And if you choose to go to the left, this is a crazy thing because it makes you want to relook at Goosebumps rabbit, but all kinds of other rabbits, it's just a really crazy thing, right? Okay, now, we've talked about some very crazy things, right? It's pretty insane. It's insane how this all adds up to. And guess what? We have an N by the cape that when we go to the very bottom of the cape, we're going to have like a little face, which is pretty creepy. Little faces are always creepy. It's kind of like an Ico kind of design to it. So it's a pretty crazy looking thing, right? But if you go up above, you're going to get a letter. And it's a common letter of consultant, right? And, we got those shoes we could talk about. There's all kinds of things. But we talk about the mouth, and then we talk about, but if we were to look at it as a mouth, it looks like ray legs, okay? So it looks like that, right? This picture is going to get insane, so just pay close attention to the details I'm trying to talk about on the cape, okay? Now, if you go over to the right, and you go over to the right, I was shook. At first, I was like, okay, I might need to look at something else. But you know what? This is really crazy. Watch this. So you're going to go to the right of this cape down below. We're still staying down, right? You're going to get a thing that is going to be, let's just say, hair, scarf kind of thing to look at it, right? It's a pretty crazy thing, right? But just like close attention, because we're going to get into things that look like fire. We're going to get into things that look like the dual crown, which is pretty crazy, a dual crown, right? And then we're going to get into another crazy thing. We're going to get into a lot of crazy things with this thing, okay? I'm trying to look at the other thing just to make sure about this. Yeah, so this one right here, 77, but 77 is like a pair of legs kind of thing. That's pretty crazy looking. Right? So that's Fantasia, Fantasia. But get ready, because I saved the best for the title, okay? So now if you can look at this, okay, so this is if you're very confused right now, it's the talons, the belt, and you're just going to go to the right, okay? But now you're going to go follow up, because we got to follow up, because we're going to have the curve for fire, right? Because fire is the thing, right? Look what's next to it. Fire and a pair of legs. It's beautiful for anybody who's a Shadow of Colossus fan. Beautiful. For Mario 64 fan, it's beautiful, but it's also really beautiful for a Shadow of the Colossus fan. I'll tell you why. The black, the darkness next to this pair of legs is a BP. So it's really crazy. Also, remember, I keep telling you about sharp feet, Ray. So Ray's feet making an eye of darkness, right? Okay. Now you better pay attention to everything, because once you pay to everything attention, when you read the title of this video, you'll be like, no way, that kind of thing. But it makes sense. You have BP, so that's the cool news. BP makes it a little bit easier. I know what BP is, so I understand what BP is. Now, this is going to make a lot of people curious, believe it or not. People are going to click on this video out of curiosity, so I already know how good this video is. This video is going to bring up curiosity and ideas, right? And you're going to see some things that are pretty crazy, okay? You're going to find me to be very scary. You're going to feel like I'm a scary person, because there's another one. Well, I talk a lot about boobs, butt, and all kinds of things, and holes. But this one's pretty crazy. Yes, we do have a Shadow Hedgehog character I need to check up on, villain, right? But maybe some Digimon, I'd probably go with the Digimon, though. The Digimon one's a crazy one. I might go with the Digimon just because I could always remember that cat character, for Digimon. Yeah, I can remember that. But, yeah, we're still on the Cape. Yeah, I know this is pretty crazy. We're still on the Cape. If you choose to follow what I'm looking at, this thing that's trying to look like so many things, and I like to say the pair of the melons because I'm a crazy, evil person, and, there's a bunch of monsters of Yu-Gi-Oh! That spread out and do things, right? Because they spread out and do things with animation-wise, right? But now, instead of looking at it as a pair of boobs and all of that, right? Because guess what? You can get boobs in your eye. We're still on the BP thing, right? You can get pubes in your eye, for sure. So look at that. That's the whole idea why we want to find BP. We want to find out why Mew laughs, right? We're going to figure out some things. So this is a pretty creepy picture, of course. Let's think about it this way, too. Mew's leg set, right? We know Mew's leg set. Pair of boobs, right? Mew. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. A little bit of craziness that we got going on here, right? Just really crazy stuff. Mew is a 3. So, there's always going to be these tri-faces that you can see around here. You can see one of the boobs being an eye, and then the other eye, and then, mouth. You can see that, okay? This is a pretty crazy thing. What a crazy title of a video, right? You'll be surprised what kind of video I have, right? It's a really weird video. I'm going to have to recheck up on some fusion cards like the fusion cards. There was a reason I talk about the fusion cards. The fusion cards are crazy in Yu-Gi-Oh! They have really crazy fusion cards, right? And wings. I know we were going to get into wings, and the reason we're going to get into wings is because, fire hot wings. We're going to get into a lot of things, just a ton of things. This is one of these really creepy pictures, okay? It's a but Y, okay? But Y turning into an H, kind of turn into a pair of legs, all in this center crest, because, the whole thing about polymerization is just like a whole entire circular kind of thing. If we look close enough, we're going to see a pair of boobs and a mouth. See, and we're going to be having a polymerization of like fusing with a female. See, right? That's kind of a crazy thing right there, yeah? Yeah, just a little crazy, right? You got a Spyro thing up above, too. I primarily, every time I play Spyro, I see something like this in Spyro. So Spyro's being about Ray. That's top above the crest of his cape, okay? And I already know, if you've paid close enough attention, it's all going to make sense to you, and it's going to be really weird because you're going to start to see it. See, that's the problem, is you're going to end up start to see what I'm trying to talk to you about. That's the whole point of the title. The title is to make you go like, what the heck, man? Make you do something simple as that. So we talked about Spyro, we talked about BP, we talked about a lot of crazy things, fire, red hot, those kind of wings, wing, right? R-wing, all kinds of things, Really crazy picture, right? Kind of insane. Like, let's try and be reasonable here. This is just like one of those evil pictures of just like multitudes, right? There is a chance if there's so much multitudes, you think that's what you would think in your head, right? You think in your head, maybe if there's this much multitudes, just maybe we're going to see Ishtar. And we possibly could be seeing Ishtar with the thing that I was looking at. That was looking like a BP. It could be hair idea, but let's look for some Ishtar. Oh, look, there's an easy Ishtar right next to the I being an easy Ishtar thing, right? And remember, that's what she says, multitudes. Very scary picture, right? Yeah, just scary picture. When she says multitudes, it was like an idea of laughing because you're laughing because you just didn't know what's going on, Very scary kind of stuff, right? We got a frown. That's why we probably need the little smile. It's a little smile face that is above this center crest that's always on Wanderer's Cape. And it's just showing like a little smile idea being underwear or something, whatever crazy thing it wants to be. I would say just, like the underwear and all that crazy stuff. But now if you choose to go up above this, right, back to the Spyro thing, and you choose to do that, you're going to go into what? Frown. Tiny smile and a frown. Pretty crazy looking. And now, if we've talked all about that, right, because it's a lot of crazy things, I do actually surprisingly like this thing that's putting its arms, who puts their arms out? Ishtar puts her arms out, right? But I do like this thing because if you want to pay attention to this thing, the reason I want you to pay attention to this is that there's a little BP to the left of it. It's really tiny. Looks almost like a star. Don't forget the Mario movie, right? Oh, no, think of the color of Wanderer's Cape, right? There's all kinds of crazy ideas. But then we're going to look at, we're going to look at this. It's going to be pretty insane. We could probably even think about the ending, the basic ending of Shadow of the Colossus with all the characters, remember, that are trying to stop Dorman, right? The common ending, just the common ending. Even the common ending is scary because it's the wrong ending kind of stuff, right? So, watch this. The character, after all that, look at that. You're going to see this art picture again, you know what I'm saying? You're going to see certain characters wearing a kind of helmet like this. That's what I'm trying to show you. You can look at it as a human body, but you could also look at it as a face. If you choose to look at it as a face, wow, right? It's a together forever kind of thing, too. So you're looking at two mouths, right? It's a pretty crazy picture, right? And it's very tiny, but it's not too tiny that you can't see it. You're just going to have to zoom into it, right? Okay. I cannot believe the title of this video. The title of this video is the ridiculous part of it, but it makes a lot of sense. Okay, and it's really an easy way to fuse things together, and it's really an easy way to stick things together, and it's kind of disgusting, and I really like how disgusting it is because I'm also looking for some other stuff, right? There's all kinds of ideas that I look for. This one is so cool to me also because, you know what, new products and new ideas, right? New Yu-Gi-Oh products, many new ideas that come out. So there's going to be a lot of crazy things once you finally figure out what I'm trying to talk about here, okay? A little Sonic the Hedgehog kind of thing, but that's really what I think. Because, like, I don't think about heads of Sonic the Hedgehog. No. I try to think about Ray trying to, you know, step on me. That is all the way. That's pretty absurd, right? That is all the way. It's a try-looking thing, and it's, you know, it's really crazy looking, and it's all the way up to the shoulder of Wanderer. But like I said to you, when you're talking about scary stuff, just imagine jesters, clowns, Sonic the Hedgehog, all kinds of crazy things, right? Okay. Shin Megami Tensei likes to talk about even gestures and all kinds of things, right? Okay, so now if we've done this, right, and you've been paying attention, you're going to be surprised once you finally pay attention. Wanderer's hand is evil. His left hand is too evil looking, so that convinces me there's something evil about his right. And you know what's crazy? That Mario 64 even has that ball that you knock into the lava. And that's going to be a creepy thing right there. That's going to be our H. Mary right there. And that's going to be on his right hand. So we're going to talk about that. And that's an Ishtar also. Yeah, have you been paying attention? Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? Yeah, just please pay close attention. You're going to be surprised how scary this is. H, it can be easily made with like 3, you know, to easily make an H. Okay. And 34 kind of stuff. I don't know. This stuff is so crazy, man. Okay, so watch this one. On the left hand, now we're going to finally go back to the left hand. Left hand I find kind of confusing, but not so confusing due to, I know, Shin Megami Tensei leggings. It's not so confusing, but it is crazy, right? So, I mean, I don't want to just jump to Shin Megami Tensei, right? But, you know, like, I mean, it's kind of a nice thing while I wait for some other ideas, right, of X and all kinds of things, right? But if you look at his hand, and you look at the outline that's to show off his hand on his left, right? We're not changing his body around, okay? You're just looking at the left, right? So we're looking at his left hand, and guess what is on his hand? Very scary. That is exactly why Side Order has a box art. This is exactly how Side Order's box art should be viewed. So this is kind of an idea of why it should be viewed like this. And I'm not surprised by it at all. That's why I really like Side Order. So not surprised. Pretty crazy looking, right? His hand is doing something really crazy too, by the way, which would get me to pay to Shin Megami Tensei, get me to pay to Xenoblade X's vagina. You know, you can finger a vagina, right? So Wanderer can go finger X's vagina, right? Okay, we're just going to keep going into this. The finger in the vagina is a really creepy one. I cannot believe I just said that so easily. Yeah, it's a very creepy one. Dried marsh, all kinds of things I've been trying to figure out, you know. Okay. So that was kind of creepy, right? Just a little bit too creepy. That's creepy. All right. Now pay close attention. Just keep paying close attention because this is why we build up this title, right? His shoulder, I really like the 3 that's on his shoulder, actually. I do like it. That's a pretty cool thing to wait for. And, you know, 76, all kinds of things, Fallout 76, all kinds of insane things. It's a pretty cool thing to look at. I like how you can flip it over, and it'll be like a pair of legs. And if you want to flip it over as a pair of legs, you'll have the boobs. See, so it's a really crazy looking thing. And this is on his shoulder. That is why Xenoblade 3 loves talking about shoulders. 3, they like the whole entire number 3 doing the Sonic Superstars crazy stuff, right? And the legs. There you go. And, you know, feet are long, right? So that's kind of like the crazy idea about that. If we go up to his face, okay, we're going to choose to go up to his face. Another kind of pair of legs. More reminds me of some Mario 64 stuff in different ways because it just how distorted it is. But you know what? Like, we're trying to look at this, right? Skin, it could be skin, like skin fused veins. It could be that. So it's a really difficult thing to break down. I like how it could still be BP. So how about BP being a butt crack, right? Because BP. How about a butt crack? How about that? Ray of a butt crack, right? That's pretty crazy, right? Okay. Splitting open a head, all kinds of things. Abadella getting her head split open, right? Okay. This is pretty intense, it's really one of those like intense video ideas, right? Okay, so we talked about that, right? And then, that's a nice 1, 2, little 3 right there. X having a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. That's crazy on his right leg. That's nice. You gotta turn over the camera, but that's really good. That's pretty cool. Mario 64 all day, man. Just really cool stuff, right? Just really cool looking. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 again, because VV, right? See, top gold, because it would be at the bottom. You know what I'm saying, right? Like top gold. Pokemon Z, right? Pokemon A, okay. Pokemon A for a mouth, all right. Okay, now we've finally done all of that because that was pretty scary stuff, right? If you like looking at strange kinds of, like different kinds of paraboobs, by the way, there is a different kind of paraboobs underneath his talons, which is very scary. And if you really want to look at that, you can look at that. You can even look at something that looks like almost like a Pikachu tail on one of his talons. And that would be, so you would go to the left talon, which I've already shown you, go to the right talon. And then if you go down, there's going to be a thing that's going to shape its way out to be kind of like, a thick female with boobs, right? So there you go with that. That's a pretty creepy looking thing, right? We have thick Pikachu, right? Yeah, so we have some really crazy things, right? Okay, so now if we've discussed all of that for you, that's a lot to discuss. But thank gosh, like Ash Ketchum, right? Ash Ketchum. Thank gosh for Ash Ketchum. Because we know what kind of Pokemon he has. He has a Charizard and he has Pikachu, right? So we do know that, right? So thank gosh for easy things like that. If I used my advanced thinking and I was like looking at his hand, not only is there a Mary, there's a thing that looks like a vagina. So that's kind of crazy looking, right? Yeah, looking at like a vagina, a face vagina kind of thing. For Mary, it's pretty crazy. And looking at, the Mario 64. Now, if you're wondering why the whole Mario 64 thing is a thing, it's most likely because you're knocking that enemy into fire, lava, right? So there's that kind of crazy, there's a lot of crazy complexes just going on here. Just crazy thing. I really do like his brace. I'm probably going to find something a little bit different, but I do like his brace being kind of like an idea because a female can wear a bra set like this if they choose to. But I do like the brace that's all the way down because it looks like a pair of legs and it looks like the kind of pair of legs I might be looking for. So it looks like a good position. That's why I'm trying to tell you all the information about this one right here. That's pretty good. You're going to have females with black pants. You're going to have all kind of black pants characters. You're going to have Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance. So the V for Vengeance, making an easy pair of legs. Sure. So, and even the claw, we can take out the claw if we want. We can make the claw be a pair of legs and then just have a big dick. We could do that too. We can do that if we need to. The shape is really good too. There's a 77 shape, 8 comes after 7, 8. So there's this kind of crazy thing going on, and the 8 is still able to make a V, and we got A. Oh boy, right? Ooh, that's pretty crazy. We got like a lot of map locations, all kinds of crazy ideas in this picture on a left leg, all the way down on the leg. So you have to go down with the braces, right? But if you do, you're going to get a good position of legs, and I like that position. Also, you may be looking at some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, some more Yu-Gi-Oh cards due to the stances of Cosmos and all kinds of things. So you'll be looking at other things like that. Right on, right? So I'm talking about a bunch of scary things. Now, Cosmo is very scary because it's a TCG archetype of Star Wars. So it's a pretty scary thing, right? Now, since I've said that, it does not make sense to why I enjoyed the Star Wars TV show pretty much, right? Okay. And we're going to probably, of course, look at the lightsabers, look at all the ideas that was made behind that show, right? It was so bad, people. Like, it was so bad. Like, people tried to judge that show, and I was like, you can't even judge that show. That show is a really crazy show to judge. There was a lot of good ideas in it. You just needed to pay attention. That was it. It's just one of those pay attention kind of things. And here we go. Here we go. This is so much better than that Star Wars people. Oh my gosh, those Star Wars people were so way better than them. Anyway, I like to end it with the title. You know what? I do like that the pair of the legs on the cape, by the way, still has like kind of two split kind of thing, right? Which is pretty cool. I like a two split. I like to have my claws. I'm about the gold duck. I'm about my demi and gold duck. So I like that idea. I like split heads, right? I like Abadel. So that's pretty cool to have that right there. Okay. All right. This is so much better than half the things you hear online. That's great. That's good. That's good. So how about that one? And let's just talk about this too, because the title is going to be pretty crazy. Looking at the handles, pretty nuts also. I mean, have you seen all the Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance feet? Have you seen the feet and the way the feet are positioned on the front box art? So it's a front box art, and on Black Friday you have a deal to go and purchase it. There you go. Okay, Spike. Yeah, I tell you, sometimes you have to pay attention to games. Even when games are cheap, you better pay attention. You'd be surprised what you're walking by. Okay, so Wanderer's Cape having a spike. The spikes, I already know what the spikes is about. It's about Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance. Ray, all kinds of things, right? Going back into the end, consult end, and all that. I want the starer in here. That's my problem. I'm so greedy. I want the starer in here. Yeah, I definitely want a starer. I want that 1, 2, 3 next to the end. Nia. Okay, so I want a starer because we all know about Nia. So I definitely want that, right? And Xenoblade 2 is pretty crazy game. Staring at a robot, checking out a robot, right? Poppy. Okay. Very crazy game. Now, if you choose this 1, 2, 3, you do get rewarded. You get a pair of legs. That's really cool. And you get a very questionable face I like, and that's a very good looking face next to the 8 face. And that's really cool because it's like a mouth. It's a mouth to another mouth because there's an eye. And then that's a lot of stuff to pay attention to, right? So that's a pretty crazy looking thing. And it's staring at you. And I like how it's oddly staring at you. But like when you go to the other one's like all calm and Ishtar-like. So that's kind of cool. That's very scary stuff, right? Who stands before me, because she's being a piece of crap, telling you who stands before me when she already knows, right? And as you're looking at this view, you're going to get up to like where Wanderer's shoulder is, and you're going to see like brown boots. And you know about Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and all kinds of crazy things. So that's going to be some crazy thing. Get the leg up, Okay. So that was a lot of information, right? Hey, do you like on the shoulder, by the way, the thing that I showed you on the shoulder, do you like that it's like a V also? It's pretty crazy, right? Brown, you split W in half, split the head Abadel, split W in half, brown legs, right? It's a pretty crazy looking thing, right? It's pretty cool to look at. Different kinds of butts. Very crazy topic, right? That's pretty insane. That's just a little too insane, right? Like, I mean, that butt's kind of a different kind of character of a butt. Maybe that's why that thing looks almost like pregnant boobs right by the talons when I was talking about that. Maybe that's what that's supposed to be. Yeah, I do know about pregnant females, so I mean, that pretty much might be it. Okay, so let's go with the S was really crazy. I mean, saxophone? Lisa from Simpsons plays a saxophone sax. So that's pretty cool, crazy little thing to look at. That's why I pay attention to fire. That's why I pay attention to a lot of crazy ideas. But the fire is going to add up because that's the title of the video. So that's the insanity of how insane things can be. A nice little 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's a really weird looking 1, 2, 3. I like how weird it looks. Okay, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Fire. That's kind of